All right, guys, we're back in the garage here today working on Project LS Extreme. And as you can see, we already have the headers back off. We're getting ready to pull this motor back up and out. Just looking at our clearance issue here, I know the header tube was hitting the bell housing and it was also hitting the frame rail. But like I said last night, I'm pretty sure it's hitting the bell housing, which is pushing it into the frame. So we need to pull this out and clearance the bell housing and make the header fit out of the chassis. And once that's done, we can drop it back in and test fit, see if we're gonna have to modify the header tubes at all to fit in the frame here. So let's get this pull back up out of there, and we'll probably have to trim some off this bell housing. There's a pretty big flange here. So we'll get that trimmed up, get that header fit, and we'll see what happens from there. Fortunately, we're doing all this test fitting without the body on the frame, so which makes it a lot easier. So definitely, you know, doing a frame off restoration is no joke. It's a lot of work, but situations like this, it definitely is easier to test fit everything before the body goes back on. So for that, I am glad. All right, we have the motor up, hanging up off of the frame. We have the header test fit back on there. I didn't tighten it up extremely tight, but it is kind of flat to the head now. And we can see right there is our issue. Doesn't look like there's a lot there. It looks like it's pretty much this little tab sticking off for the inspection plate bolt. So I'm going to start with just trimming part of that off, and as long as we get clearance, I mean, it only goes on the head one way. So once it bolts on there and it clears there, then we're good. So let me trim that and we'll see how we're looking. All right, we have that ear trimmed off, and it's still hitting. So we started with a little, it's past there now. Come to the back side here and really look down in there. You can see it's getting ready to hit the bigger part of the bell here, and up here we still have a gap at the header. So it definitely still needs to come towards the motor. I think once this is done, it's probably going to fit the chassis just fine, but we won't know until we get this done. So we started trimming a little, now we got to trim a lot. I'm going to try and mark that with a Sharpie. And this isn't structural part of the bell housing. It's just it's actually the bump out for the starter, and the starter bolts to the block anyway. So we'll mark this out and get it trimmed up again, and try it again. We got it to fit. We ended up having to cut out quite a bit more than I thought we were going to have to. The original cut was just right here on this edge, and I got us close, but then put us into the bigger part of the bell. So we took this slice off, got us closer, still not quite there. So we had to take another slice. I believe that went like that, yeah. So once we got that off, we had to take this off, which was really, really close. So we had to take another sliver off. So now we actually are fitting. You see there's a tiny bit of room there. If you tap on it, it does hit. So I did mark on the back side here. And we're going to take a little bit more off there and a little notch right there. I'm confident it's going to fit in the frame now with no issues. So we'll see. It's a moment of truth. Get the motor sitting back down in there. I went ahead and tightened up the motor mounts because we had everything pretty much adjusted front and back. Everything's sitting in there exactly the way it should. With being how tight that was, I went ahead and bolted the starter on there just for mock-up. Starter fits perfectly fine in the frame, so let's get that header thrown on there and see if we have clearance. Verdict is, they fit. They're extremely tight. If you can see down in there, there's just ever so slightly, I don't know, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So these poly mounts are nice and solid, so it shouldn't move around a lot, if any. So we should be good. I may end up marking that and just putting a tiny dimple on the header, just so we don't have any rattles, but it fits. We did have to hog out quite a bit, like I showed before, on that bell housing where the boss is for the starter. And I really don't know of any factory GM transmissions with no hump there. So I'm kind of thinking you got to modify anything you use to make this work. They're just tight. These S10s are super tight, but with that modification on the bell housing, it fits like a glove. Nice job, Stainless Works. Definitely a good job. Definitely a good fit on these headers. Come over to this side, same way. We actually probably gained a little bit more clearance, and I don't see much room there. I may be able to loosen those motor mounts up and slide the motor this way a tiny bit, kind of even out the space between, because they are slotted. But it's in, and I like it. So next thing we probably need to do is, I kind of figured this cross member was going to be in the way, and sure enough the header goes right into it, so I'm going to mark for that, and we'll have to trim that out and plate that, and so we can bring our pipe through there. This side, I don't know, it looks tight too. Come around here. Yeah, probably have to notch that one a little bit too. So we'll get these marked. We'll get rid of these factory hangers, get that marked, and get that mocked up also. It definitely looks good in there. Everything, like I said, fits really, really nice. Fit between the cross member and the oil pan's good. Motor mounts are nice, nothing hitting anywhere. Just a nice clean look. All right guys, we got some more parts coming in, or has come in, has arrived. We got some drilled slotted brake rotors, some new brake pads, and some red powder coated calipers. This is all stock size stuff, but it's new, and their performance, so it'll help a little bit with stopping power. All right, it's time to work on this cross member. I have some 4-inch exhaust pipe. It's heavy wall exhaust tubing. This is 3-inch off the headers. It'll be more than enough for clearance. So I took and made some marks on the cross member, right where it needs to be and how deep on both sides. Not sure how well that shows up there, but I have some marks. So I'm gonna pull this cross member back out and mock it up with that pipe, make a couple more marks, and maybe make some cuts. All right, we got this laid out and cut out actually. We used our cutoff wheel here and just cut through there. Makes it pretty thin, but that's why we're gonna plate it. We're actually gonna lay that in there. I'm gonna test fit this again, make sure it's where we need it to be, but lay that in there. Excuse me. We'll tack this in and then trim this off and weld it up solid, and it'll be nice and strong again. Same thing for this side. But first we're going to test fit it and make sure it's where we need to be. We got this cross member back in there, and we got our pipe. Of course it's not going to go up that far, but an easy way of telling if you're good is you can just slip this right past. If you can go over top of that header, then obviously you have enough room for a 3-inch pipe to go through what you just made here. As you can see, it's a little bit offset, so I think I'm going to actually trim a little bit more on this side and move it over. On this side, I think we're good. It's close, but again, we go right over top of that header. Can't really go down much more because there's not much meat there left on the cross member, so but it goes over, and we're fairly centered. We can adjust that a tiny bit, but I think we're good there. We'll take a little bit more off the inside of that side, and this side I think we're good. So let's get welding. All right, we got our pieces all cut and fitted down in there. Well, they're setting down in there. They're fitted somewhat. I'm gonna start tacking them, and we'll finish massaging them down in with the hammer and trimming the corners up, and get them welded in there nice and tight. All right, guys, there we got it. Got it all welded up. I even stitched some extra stitches down here. They didn't weld this solid. You can see there's a break in the welds. So anywhere I made my cut, I stitched it up a little extra. There, I took it all the way down to the bottom. It came out pretty nice. I ground this just because we have no extra room towards the bottom of this. So I'm not really worried about the welds. They're plenty good enough looking. But I did grind this bottom just, to make any extra room at all. Make sure we have it. So, well, as you can see, it's a pretty big notch, but we strengthened it back up with that plate. Same thing with over here. And we'll throw this back up in here and make sure it didn't move around on us when we weld it. Finished product in the frame. As you can see, we have plenty of clearance through there. Same with this side. This side actually has a little bit more clearance. We could only go so thin on the cross member here. Before I put this plate in, it was just that bottom flat plate pretty much, and you could actually flex this. Once I weld that in there, weld it in solid, it's nice and firm again, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. I do think I'm going to run an X pipe. We're probably going to run it right about there. This truck has a carrier bearing that sits here, so from the transmission to the carrier bearing it never moves. It does have universals there for some reason, but it's a straight shot, so all the pivoting happens from the carrier bearing back to the axle. So we can hug pretty tight up through here. So I think we're going to do the X pipe roughly in this location. This pipe will pretty much be a straight shot back off the header. This side, I'm probably going to come back, do a 45 degree, and then tie into this X. And then mufflers will sit roughly in this location. And then we'll decide what we're going to do for tailpipes later, probably after we get the body on. I definitely like my tailpipes nice and tucked, neat. So it'll definitely have to be a neat job. So that was a success today. We got that header to fit, of course, and we have a whole pile of stuff that we scrounged up, disassembled, that needs to go and be either sandblasted or glass beaded. So I'm not sure on the bigger parts. We have the springs over there too. I'm not sure on some of these parts. It might be just easier if the sandblaster is available fast enough. I think I might have them do the bigger parts. If not, we'll make do with the glass bead cabinet. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for today. And thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe. Have a good day.